Well, hello. This is a Schuberth C4 modular helmet, and I really like it. So I was on an extended trip, and after about the 5th day, I really noticed the helmet I had worn for the trip, it started to get a little sore here on the front of my head, and it was becoming uncomfortable and making the ride less and less enjoyable. So one of the fellows I was riding with suggested I try on his Schuberth C3 Pro. And I said, nah, I'm not interested. I've tried on the C3 in the past and it really does not fit my head well. No need to try the C3 Pro. And he said, well, you might want to give this a try because they changed the shell shape from the C3 to the C3 Pro. So I tried on his spare C3 Pro and it fit like a glove. It was great. Now, mind you, it wasn't my size. It was a little too big, but I was impressed with the shape inside. No big deal. But a day or two later, we visited a dealership in New Hampshire. And on the shelf, they had this helmet right here, a C4. So after having ridden 6 hours to get there, I already had the pain starting in the front of my head. And actually had a big red spot here too. I tried on this helmet, and this is a medium C4, and it fit like a glove. It was almost too comfortable to take off. Additionally, because this helmet is being discontinued and being replaced by the C4 Pro, they had a phenomenal blowout deal on this one. And apparently there's a lot of these things kicking around at a great price. So I bought it, obviously. I also bought the Intercom system. So after buying it and installing the Intercom system right there on the spot, I had 4 days to run with this helmet. And here's how I made out. So the C4 Pro is a modular helmet. So this red button right here basically allows you to flip the helmet open and use it like a conventional open face helmet when you come to a stop. However, of course, they don't recommend riding with this up, but it's great when if you're on the road for extended periods of time, you stop to get fuel, have a drink of water or whatever, or talk at a stop. It's a great concept, and I've really grown to enjoy my other modular helmets. Now, the C4 Pro is a new design for Schuberth, or was a new design up until most recently. Very, very well-made helmet. Incredible fit and finish. I mean, for example, just look at this gap here where the modular front comes down here. It's tight, tight, tight. It's aerodynamically designed, so you can see even here the fairings that continue down from the side of the shield. Everything's molded in an attempt to make the helmet slippery, I guess. Even the top vent here is smoothed out into the shell. The paint quality is very good. They come with their own sort of proprietary pin lock type system. So when the lid comes up, it's actually lined just like a pin lock. You can take that out if you want. From a ventilation standpoint, there is this pressed open type ventilation in the chin and a slider on the forehead. They work very well. Most importantly, though, for me, is how comfortable this helmet is on my head. For years, I've begged and dreamed of Arai offering the Signet in a modular helmet. And to me, this fits like an Arai. It feels like an Arai, a top quality helmet. The fit and finish inside is very good. Has a ratcheting style chin strap, which I really like. Also has an integral built-in sun shield for your eyes. That's optically correct. Very nice. And one of the biggest selling features of the new Schuberth line, these modular helmets, is the fact that you can purchase integrated intercom system. Now the intercom system is built, I'm told, and designed by Sena. So this is similar to a Sena Model 10 unit. There's 2 buttons. There's one module here and one module here for the battery. The rest of the helmet comes from the manufacturer already with the earphones and the microphone already installed. So all you need to do is buy this component here. Now, how does it work? Well, first of all, Sena has always billed their helmets as quiet helmets. And this one's reasonably quiet, but it's not exceptionally quiet. It's as quiet as either the Schuberth modular I wear or the Arai helmets. Not excessively quiet, but quieter than some of the cheaper ones. That's good. Comfort-wise, as I mentioned, the shell shape is perfect for me, and I have a long oval head. Now, this is billed as an intermediate oval. I find it fits almost identical to my Arai helmet, so I would bill it as a long oval head, or maybe a long oval shape rather. So maybe I'm not a long oval shape, I'm somewhere in the middle. This fits very well. The lining type is very comfortable, very warm and dry, of course, because we were driving in cold, wet weather. That's good. The intercom system is a different story. I had problems with the intercom system, so it's built, first of all, to have some sort of noise canceling function in it. I didn't notice that at all. Additionally, I did have a problem where we were driving along and suddenly the intercom system would shut off on its own, almost like the battery died, but I wouldn't get a low battery warning. Turns out that was a problem with the firmware. So I updated the firmware. That problem's gone away. The range is not brilliant. They bill it as 1 mile eye to eye. I wasn't getting quite that. As soon as I got 600 yards away from the person I was with, even though we had a clear line of sight, my voice was getting garbled in his helmet. Now that could have been his radio, I'm not sure, but that's my experience with that. After the firmware upgrade, as I mentioned, it didn't shut off simultaneously or spontaneously on its own. That part all works very nicely. And as far as the sound quality, it's typical intercom sound quality, pretty good. The ear speakers don't intrude onto your ears, so you barely feel those. And the microphone is located up here in the head area somewhere, right about there. That works well. So even with the top up, people can generally hear you, but with the front face down, they hear you perfectly. So no problem in that regard as well. Very, very pleased with this. And the reason I'm so rushing to get a review of this helmet out is because you can still get these really, really cheap compared to what the retail is on them. Now, some people don't like the shape. They're a little more pointed here in front, whereas the conventional Japanese helmets kind of swoop down in the front more. This German model kind of swings forward to get this pointy chin. But when you do have the helmet on, one thing I notice is that you have this sense of space inside it that you don't get with some of those other ones. The paint quality is excellent, and the optics in the shield is very good as well. So, very happy. See how we make out. As I mentioned, I've put about 24 hours on this baby, most of them long stints, and no pressure points whatsoever, complete comfort. So now, one gripe I did have on the helmet was the intercom. It's so-so. It's nothing to write home about, but I do like the fact that there's no wires and microphone hanging in your face. One gripe I do have, though, is that the buttons on the bottom of the helmet to control the intercom, there's only 2 of them, and they're hard to reach if you have a big, heavy glove on and can't see them. So I went and bought this here remote control that mounts on the bike. This is produced by Sena. It's the RC4 by Sena, but Schuberth makes the exact same one. It's made by Sena. They charge more, so I went, used my head, I guess, and I bought the Sena version. This makes controlling the helmet intercom a whole lot easier. So this was well worth the money, which I think was about $80. Anyway, overall, well, we'll see how we do next summer, but my 12 hours with the system, 15 hours with the system has been great. Until next time.